Night, he poured oil on my head. I had never met him. We had never seen. I didn't even know how he looked like, but he anointed me.
It's very possible that you can ordain a person into ministry and you are yet not his father.
How are you doing, my family? Welcome again to Direct TV, bringing to the truth. Welcome, guys, to this special and wonderful episode of my video today. Alright, in today's video, guys, I'm here with the man of God, Pastor Paul Enenche, and Joshua Iginla. Later on, we'll be speaking. But I want you to actually, watch this video because it's very important towards, what you need to understand. For the fact that, this issue has, been spreading and have been lasting for a very long time is becoming concerning. And I also feel that, you need to listen to this because Pastor Paul Enenche actually identified himself with a particular spiritual father. All right, and that's what many people don't understand. So if you see Dr. Paul Enenche not speaking about about the manner, he has his reasons. And that's why this video that you're about to watch, he actually spoke about his spiritual father. Kindly watch this, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Watch this.
Tonight, when God gives you a vision and he gives you direction and then opens you up to revelations, he brings you into associations that will give you the relevant impartation. That takes you to your destination. That is my story. Close to 30 years ago, I came into contact with God's servant through messages, through tapes, and what I heard stirred my spirit. The first message I think I heard was unveiling the realities of the supernatural realms. And my heart was stirred. Is there such a man? Where is he? And I continued listening to the message until one day I saw in the dream of the night, he poured oil on my head. I had never met him. We had never seen. I didn't even know how he looked like, but he anointed me in the dream. And then after getting newly married over 27 years ago, we heard that he was coming into town in the city of Jos where we were. And we traced him to the church then, the Living Faith Church, and then graciously were able to have an encounter with him, and I shared with him what I saw in the dream and how I had listened to several tapes, messages that changed and impacted my life. And he did it, and he said, okay, he's going to do that practically. So he poured the oil practically in the physical, and then that was the beginning of very, very great, unprecedented, unimaginable impact. Shortly after that, God sent us to the city of Abuja to start ministry, and while we were trying to just lay the foundation, he came to town and he passed by the site of the ministry where the foundation was being laid. And he said, he came, I told him this is what is happening. He poured oil on the ground and said, building, grow. And within 7 weeks, the building had its roof. And by the first anniversary of our church, that structure, that hall, that sanctuary was filled, and we had 5 little canopies outside that was filled at number 1 first anniversary of the ministry. Impact continued, and then up till the Glory Dome dedication, he broke the ground, and then the building started. When we had 10 days to the dedication of that building, 10 days, and he was coming to dedicate, we needed hundreds of millions if the dedication was to hold, and we had only 10 days. Our people said, can we remove the amount in the reserve account, which was not going to be enough to finish that construction? And I said, no, God will bring the amount. God brought over 300 million within 10 days, and then the building was dedicated to the glory of God. Today, the impact of this ministry by his mercies and true connection is global, and we want to give God the praise. Encounter with my father in the Lord, after I listened to maybe 50 of his tapes in the university in those days, and 50 tapes then, cassettes, cassette tapes is cassette. I didn't see CDs, cassette. Yes, Field Ghana must go. I'm sure some of you saw those my cassettes. Plenty of them in plenty. Ghana must come. bags. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Listening to plenty of it. And then he appeared in the dream. I was on my knees, pouring oil on my head. And then I heard he was coming to town. My wife was full like this with our first child, pregnancy. We looked for him where he came to town. Excuse me, sir. This is what I saw in the dream. I would be glad if it can happen physically. It's about 30 years now. They poured the oil on the head. From that day till forever, every devil is aware.
So guys, I just needed you to quickly watch that. Now I want you to listen to, please just patiently watch this video. Don't rush it. Patiently watch this video. Listen, I posted a full video of this on my channel where Joshua Iginla spoke extensively on fatherhood, but I have to bring this again because I feel not much people watch that video. But please just kindly take your time, watch and listen to what Joshua Iginla is going to be saying in this particular video. So before we dive into the video, don't forget to kindly hit the subscribe button and like today's video. Watch this.
To be called a father is not pouring oil on people's head. Right now we have some few battles that is going on where somebody is saying that I'm the one that ordained this person into ministry, and so I'm the spiritual father of this person, and the other person say the other thing. Genuine father will never tear the garment of their children in the public. People chooses who becomes their father. You don't force people to become your son. When I say you're my son, you're my son. These are one of the greatest problems we have in the body of Christ. You can lead somebody to Christ, and yet he might not call you his spiritual father. It doesn't mean anything. What is this battle? I'm your father, I'm your father, I'm your father. Hear me. If genuinely you are a father of any person, the person will submit to you and tell you that you are my father. If somebody feels you don't have the capacity to carry them, it doesn't make them ungrateful. It doesn't make them a betrayer. If they choose not to identify with you, it doesn't make them worse set of son. They simply, to the best of their knowledge, know exactly what fatherhood means. You cannot be a father, and you've deviated from truth. You cannot be my father when you are lambasting me and you are not happy about my success and my current future and my current potential. And if a son rises up tomorrow and say, you are not my father and you've never been my father, so be it. When you begin to force yourself to be a father, to be called a father of somebody who feels you are not his father, it's a failure in itself. Yes, ministry is deep. Allow people, one of the greatest gifts God has given every man, including an unbeliever, is the gift of choice. Who to follow. Choose whom ye shall serve this day. Who is on the Lord's side? People have the right to choose where they stay, where they submit, where they find oxygen, where they find life. And when they make that choice, they're not being ungrateful, they're not being barbaric. If they choose to erase you and blot you out of their history, it's their choice. And if truly you have placed a mark on their life and you are patient, time will tell. But once you begin to see yourself fighting a battle or pulling somebody who is already a name, a brand, who has builded his life and he is respected by others, diminishing his level of importance in the name of spirituality, I see it as Pentecostal witchcraft. I don't see it as part of Christianity. And when I'm still talking about the issue of father, if somebody is your son, you don't need to force the person to call you his son. And it is very possible that somebody can call you once a father and choose not to call you a father if you are fall apart and you are not living according to the tenets of faith. It's very possible. Yes. Very, very possible. So please, this issue of fatherhood and son. Father, you are my father, you are not my father, you are my son, you are not my son, you are my this, you are not my this. Please, let's, in the name of we share history, not embarrass people with their destiny. That you share an history with somebody does not mean you know the destiny of the person. It's quite mind-boggling that you see people who are friends of the president today of a current president or any president of any country. You don't walk to the Aso Villa and say, because we are classmates, then you begin to abuse the president and say, hey, you call him by name and begin to insult him because you want to prove to people. What is your intention when you claim people who are now matured? When you begin to, there's a way you call people. You treat people with respect. I have grown-up children. I cannot say because I am their father and I begin to lambast them and diminish their level of importance and try to make them feel foolish. That is not fatherhood in itself. It's rascality and it is never spirituality. When you join to diminish an importance of somebody who has now become important, not because they share your history, it is one of the reasons why most people, when they grow up, when they climb to the top, they try to make sure that they isolate themselves from people who do not treat them with respect. Just because you know my history does not mean my future becomes foolish to you. People have right to choose who their father is.
All right, my family, there you have it with Prophet Joshua Iginla. Now, guys, that video was very vital, and he did explain a lot of thoughts that, I feel so many of you need to know. You see, so while you are just saying many of these things, a lot of people have so many opinions, and the truth is that in this life, people are always going to talk, people are always going to say things, people are always going to complain. All right, but sometimes learn to and learn to understand the truth first of all, and then always have an open mind to learn. Don't just jump and conclude things. All right, don't just jump and conclude things. You see, so you have heard what he said. All right, and the fact that Pastor Paul Enenche, like I said, I've not really spoken about this issue, whether or not it was ordained. You see, he has not said any particular thing about it. Okay, but at least he has showed you, he has spoken about Bishop David Oyedepo ordaining him, meaning that he has identified with himself with Bishop David Oyedepo. All right, so don't need to confuse ourselves around this issue. Let's just leave it that Bishop David Oyedepo is the spiritual father. All right, if he doesn't want to talk about it, but Damina, there's no need to force it. All right, one day we eventually talk about it if it is necessary. Anyways, that's for me, but I'd love to know what you think about this video. What do you think about it? What did you learn? Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. For those of you coming new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, subscribe, like today's video, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.